I can't get nothing right.
Members of the jury, have you arrived at a verdict? Will the deputy please retrieve the verdict forms and provide it to me for review? Miss Potter, please rise. I'm now going to read your verdicts as it will appear in the permanent court records of Hennepin County. In the matter of State of Minnesota versus Kimberly Potter, court file number 27 CR 217490, we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the first degree while committing a misdemeanor on or about April 11, 2021 in Hennepin County, State of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And the verdict was agreed to at the hour of 11:40 a.m. and signed by the jury person on 12/23/21. The verdict on count 2 is we, the jury, on the charge of manslaughter in the second degree, culpable negligence on or about April 11, 2021 in Hennepin County, State of Minnesota, find the defendant guilty. And that verdict was agreed to at 10:30 a.m. on 12/21/21. Members of the jury, is this your true and correct verdict? So say you one, and so say you all.
Yes.
Okay, you may be seated. All right, I am now going to poll the jury. Juror number 2, is this your true and correct verdict?
It is.
Juror number 6, is this your true and correct verdict? Juror number 7, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Juror number 13, is this your true and correct verdict? Oh, it's juror 11. And juror 17, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 19, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 21, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 22, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 26, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 40, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 48, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes.
And juror number 55, is this your true and correct verdict?
Yes, it is.
Members of the jury, when you first came into the courtroom, I told you that jurors are the heroes of our judicial system. Well, the 12 of you are our heroes in this case. You might remember that there was a question on the questionnaire that asked whether you wanted to be on this jury. You were to check yes, no, or maybe. A number of you checked no or not sure, and a few of you checked all three. But when I asked each of you if you would be willing to serve if the party selected you as a juror, you all said yes. You said yes even though we are in a pandemic with Omicron spreading in our community. You said yes even though you had concerns about serving given the nature of the case. You said yes even though you knew you would be sequestered during deliberations and away from your loved ones. And you said yes even though there was a chance that this case could have lasted past Christmas. You were willing to sacrifice much because you believed in our justice system. And then you went into deliberations, and each of you brought with you your common sense, individual perceptions, and life experiences, and you came to an agreement on the verdicts. You did your duty. I'm so proud of you. You should be proud of yourselves. Without civic-minded citizens like you, our system of justice could not function. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your sacrifices. I wish you all a wonderful holiday season, and may the peace and beauty of the season be yours throughout the year. At this time, I'd like you to go into your waiting courtroom, and I'll be in just a moment. I'd like to thank you personally and to answer any questions that you have. Okay? Okay, please be seated. All right. Council, we have to pick a date tentatively for sentencing. So for in custody, we'll be taking Ms. Potter into custody and holding without bail. So what is 3 weeks out? I think we'd probably want to do a tier 4.
So we will be looking at January 13th or 14th. We can do 11:30 on either day.
For sentencing.
Pre-sentence report?
Yes, I'm having a PSI report done.
We are not available on the 13th. I believe we could do the 14th.
I'm in trial the week after that, and it does seem to be a little accelerated given the seriousness of the decisions you're about to make. So later in January would be our preference. We also would like to talk about the bail issue with you before you decide it, before you make a decision to take her in.
All right, I'll hear you out.
Go ahead, no.
You know, I think it'd be easier for the court reporter if you went to the podium.
We both see
Yes.
Well, there hasn't been a motion. I anticipate they would file a motion, but this arguendo, they're going to file a motion to revoke her bail. We will be filing a motion for dispositional departure on the case. She is amenable to probation. Her remorse and regret for the incident is overwhelming. She's not a danger to the public whatsoever. She's made all her court appearances, including all appearances in the court. It is the Christmas holiday season. She's a devoted Catholic, no less. And there is no point to incarcerate her at this point in time because, A, you haven't decided what the sentence is going to be. B, the dispositional departure arguments are quite strong on this case. And C, it's not necessary for the preservation of public safety. So for those reasons, she need not be incarcerated whatsoever pending sentencing. You certainly can do it after sentencing, but this is a rather unique case of someone who has law enforcement experience and was never in trouble all her life and is 49, which is beyond the age of most defendants that you see. Plus she has deep roots in the community and her family's here, and there's no evidence that she would flee. So we respectfully ask you to change your mind as to whether she needs to be incarcerated right now. I know Mr. Gray has a couple of comments too.
Your Honor, her bail right now is $100,000. She's got that posted. She's not going to run. She obviously is not going to commit any more crimes. She's been convicted of an accident. She's been convicted of being reckless. I just would like to be able to, with Paul, file a motion for dispositional departure in this case. I think there's other facts that didn't come to light during the trial that are important also about Kim Potter and about this case. So I respectfully request that you release her on her $100,000 bail, and that'll make it easier to do the pre-sentence report. We'll get people sending letters on her behalf. And I would ask for the sentencing sometime after, if you release her, sometime. I started trial January 20th. It should be over by February 20th, I hope, sometime in late February. And ask that my gosh, she's got a $100,000 bail out, Judge. But, she's not going to commit another crime. She's not going anywhere. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Frank.
Thank you, Your Honor. To request to be taken into custody. The convictions here are for manslaughter in the first degree, manslaughter in the second degree, based on the death of Daunte, a young man. In other words, it's a case that involves death. They are very serious charges. It is customary for defendants to be taken into custody upon a guilty verdicts for those level of crimes, and we don't think this case should be any differently. Your Honor, we also have learned that the defendant is not living in the state. I don't know if that was known and provided for in the original conditions of release, but it presents obviously an aggravating factor for allowing her to remain out of custody. So we are requesting that the state remand her into custody and withdraw any bail or conditions of release. Your Honor, we do have the Blakely issue to resolve, and we would be asking some direction from the court on whether we should submit written arguments or proposed findings, or how the court exactly wants to address that. It would be good to have those findings, of course, for the actual sentencing hearing, and we would request a PSI as well.
Yes.
Serious crime, I understand that, but both of those crimes, there's no intent, no criminal intent. It's reckless and culpable negligence. Many times in my career, I've had defendants convicted of culpable negligence. I don't think I've ever had a reckless one, but it's an unintentional crime by somebody with a clear record, and we have a strong basis for a dispositional departure. I ask the court to release her on the bail. Surely will reappear.
Okay. The presumptive sentences in this case are commits, and I am going to require that she be taken into custody and held without bail. And I recognize your arguments, Mr. Ng and Mr. Gray, but I cannot treat this case any differently than any other case. So, I think we should probably set briefing deadlines. I know that the defense would like to make a written motion for a dispositional departure. And the state has the argument concerning aggravating Blakely factors that we should be briefing. How much time does the defense need to put in their motion for a dispositional departure?
At least 1 month. We're backed up, both of us are backed up on trials right now. I start one on the 20th as well.
Okay.
So at least 1 month from at the end of January would be preferable.
Okay. Pick a date in January and I'll give the state what they need to respond.
Well, the January 31st one.
January
Yes.
31st, that's a Monday.
Okay. And how long would the state like to respond to the motion, the sentencing motion?
Could we have 2 weeks, Your Honor?
You may, and that date would be, Zach?
February 14th.
Okay. And Mr. Frank, I think that the aggravating factors, we did the Blakely on a unitary basis, so no further evidence would be required, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So could you submit your brief on the aggravating factors? How much time do you need on that?
2 weeks, Your Honor?
Okay. And the defense would need until... Okay. And Mr. Kramer, could you tell them what the dates are?
We do them all on the 31st then. As an anonymous submission for the defense.
Okay. Do you want to do them simultaneously on the 31st?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So, you want sentencing pushed back to February? All right, because both of you, late February. All right, let's pick a date.
We could do any time in the morning on February 23rd.
Well, I know I have a trial on the 20th too. I mean, all these cases were backed up because of this one. So late the week after that would be great.
Okay. That'll push us to the first week of March. How about 9 a.m. on March 1st?
Okay.
What day of the week?
That's a Tuesday.
That would be
Your Honor, the state's not available that week.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do March 8th at 9 a.m.
I'm sorry.
March 8th at 9 a.m.
You all have a state trial that week, March. If we could move it up a week in February would be better. Please?
So the first week of March, Mr. Frank?
I'm saying like the third week of February.
Okay. We can do it February 18th at 9 a.m.
That's fine.
That is a Friday.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
February 18th, Judge.
Thank you. All right, is there anything else we need to put on the record?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Okay, thank you, counsel.
How do you feel?
Ha 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 ha!